Hey everybody, Scott Spreitzer, DocSports.com. Our update for Tuesday, December 4th, 2018. Free pick coming up in just a moment. First, a quick note, if you've yet to become a member at DocSports.com, it's a great way to try it out. You click on the link below the video, you get set up for a free $60 account on Tuesday. And you can use that on any of my daily packages or anybody else for that matter over at DocSports.com. Again, all you got to do, click on the link below the video, get set up for that free $60 account. All right, here's what we got going on Tuesday, guys. We've got a three-play college basketball trifecta. 3 college basketball sides, couple of dogs, and a favorite. And I wanted to bring this up because it is our first 3-play Tuesday trifecta, first 3-play college basketball trifecta at all for the entire season. And last year, we finished up on a 47-23 run with our 3-play trifectas, couple of pushes thrown in with that record. So red hot with these plays. They're available right now at DocSports.com. Again, a couple of dogs and one favorite in Tuesday's college basketball. We've got NBA. I'm on one play in the NBA for Tuesday as we look to bounce back from last night's loss with the Brooklyn Nets. One play in the NBA, 3 in college basketball, all available on Tuesday during the day. The college basketball at 11:30 a.m. Eastern, 8:30 a.m. Pacific. And I'll also be involved in the NHL on Tuesday. So a lot going on. 5 plays in all for Tuesday's card. All right, free play coming up in just a minute. That'll be also from college basketball. We won last night's free play here with the Philadelphia Eagles. We'll have our thoughts on that in just a minute. If you're new to my videos, Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, we always jump in and give you a, not Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, but Monday night, Tuesday morning, we always jump in and give our NFL recap from the previous weekend card. And this is, of course, Week 13 that just finished up. We don't talk about these notes in any particular order. They're not in schedule order, just how we jot them down. We watch a few different highlight shows that we think are good for betting information, and we also scour the internet for some good information that we think we can use moving forward with some of these teams. And so I'm going to read you the highlights here. If you want to check them all out in detail, you can do so late Tuesday afternoon over at DocSports.com. You just click on my handicapping homepage. Bottom of the page is all this stuff typed out. And again, we'll start now with the Bills and Miami, where the Dolphins won 21-17. We actually had a big play on the Dolphins at DocSports.com, and we did count it as a push. We know some people won, laying 3.5. Some people pushed. So we're going to count that as a push since not everybody could jump on Miami at 3.5. But Josh Allen, decent night through the air, 18 for 33, 231. He did throw 2 picks to go along with the 2 touchdown passes, but 135 rushing yards for Josh Allen. Not going to be able to do that week in, week out. He might get himself hurt if he continues to run the ball quite a bit, but it's working right now. How about the next-gen stats, as they call them? The next-gen stats show that Allen actually ran 812 yards on Sunday in this game when it comes to, creating more time for receivers to get open, running parallel to the line of scrimmage, running from side to side across the field when he's running with the football trying to gain yardage. 812 yards is what Next Gen Stats showed, according to NBC on Josh Allen. Wanted to mention that Miami's now won 8 straight home games with Tannehill at quarterback. The Bills, meanwhile, 18 touchdowns, 25 turnovers on the season. And if it wasn't for a late dropped pass in the end zone, the Bills would have won that football game, but they came up a little bit short. Broncos beat Cincinnati 24-10. Phillip Lindsay, again, big story here, 19 carries, 157 yards, couple of touchdowns. Plus 8 turnover margin the last 3 games for Denver. Meanwhile, the Bengals allowing almost 34 points per game during their 4-game losing streak. Panthers lose to Tampa Bay 24-17. A bad day for Cam Newton. He threw 4 interceptions. 2 of those interceptions were thrown inside the Tampa Bay 20-yard line. Carolina's now 1-8 straight up in their last 9 road games, and they're giving up 31-plus points per game during this 4-game skid. Tampa Bay plus 5 turnover margin their last 2 games. Guess what? They've won both. Before that, they had a minus 23 margin in their first 10 games, man. You don't turn the ball over. You produce takeaways. You can win football games. Cardinals knock off Green Bay 20-17. Arizona becomes the coach killer for Mike McCarthy. Obviously, he was a lame duck. Losing to Arizona made it that much easier for Green Bay to show Mike McCarthy the door. He, of course, arrived in Green Bay as the head coach in 2006. It was the Packers' 3rd loss this season by 3 points or fewer. That's how close they are to being 7-4-1 and being in the playoff mix, and McCarthy being the head coach for, again, another week and throughout the course of the season. As far as Arizona's concerned, 2nd game without a turnover, just like the Bucs, 2-0. When they're on the right side of the turnover margin, they ran for 182 yards on Sunday. Tennessee comes back, beats the Jets 26-22. Isaiah Crowell, we talk about him every week. He had 21 carries, 98 yards, and the Jets not only covered but had a chance to win the game because they were able to run the football. But as far as Tennessee is concerned, that last-minute touchdown that they scored, that was on a third down. It was their only positive third down conversion rate of the entire football game. Houston wins again 9 in a row. They won 29-13 over the Cleveland Browns in the first half. Baker Mayfield had 5 completions and 3 interceptions. Listen, Houston did the right thing. They put a stop to Nick Chubb. He had 31 yards rushing in the game, and that forces the onus of the offense onto the shoulders of Baker Mayfield, and he couldn't get it done. Lamar Miller, another big game for the Texans, 103 yards on 19 carries. Again, 9-3 on the season. Before the season, we gave out Houston over in their wins total. Wasn't looking good at 0-3. But now 9-3 on the year. Seattle knocks off the Niners 43-16. San Francisco got a lot of sharp action this weekend. Didn't play the game myself, but Russell Wilson, 11 for 17, 185 through the air, 4 touchdown passes. Wilson now has 24 touchdown passes and only 2 interceptions in his last 10 games. Chris Carson, 13 carries, 69 yards, had about 40 yards through the air. And I'll tell you what, it's a situation where when they can run the football and Russell Wilson doesn't have to throw a million passes, create a lot through the air, this team could beat just about anybody. The Rams knock off Detroit 30-16. Lions defense dropped pick 6 chances in the fourth quarter of this game, at least 2 of them. They've allowed 120 or more rushing yards 6 times this season. They're 0-6 straight up in those games. Like I've been saying since like week 2, if Detroit's facing a team that can run the football, they're going to have a tough time winning football games. And listen, folks, I thought they had a great shot to cover, and they did, as this was a close game until the final minutes. But again, Gurley and the Rams were able to run quite easily against this Detroit Lions defense. The Bears go into Giants Stadium. They lose 30-27 to the Giants in overtime. Running back Terry Cohen had 12 grabs for 156 yards. 12 receptions for the Bears, 156 yards. Saquon Barkley, 24 carries, 125 yards for the Giants. And, of course, the Bears can't wait to get Mitchell Trubisky back. Colts, red hot. Then they go to Jacksonville. They lose 6-0. Melvin Mack, only 27 yards on 8 carries. Story of the game right there. It forced Andrew Luck to throw the football 52 times, 52 passes, 0 points scored. Luck throwing short passes inside Jags territory, inside 1 minute left of the game was ridiculous. They didn't have enough timeouts. They kept throwing little dump-offs. The clock ran out. That was that, and they had a chance to win that football game driving late. Ravens knock off the Falcons 26-16. We saw Lamar Jackson, only 12 for 21 through the air, 125 yards. 17 carries, 75 yards, and a touchdown. I know they've won 3 games since he's been quarterback, but you can't keep running the football that many planned times with your quarterback where he's going to get banged up, and Lamar Jackson is. Suffered a concussion, may not play on Sunday. I really think over the long term, all this rushing success from Lamar Jackson, wins in his starts, is fool's gold. They're going to have to get him, and I know he's new, and I know he's young, and he's got to figure out quick defenses in the passing game. But I'll tell you right now, they can't have him running the ball 17, 20 times per game and have him last in the NFL. As far as Baltimore's concerned, they're now 6-0 when they hold their opponents to less than 100 yards rushing. The Falcons, meanwhile, they're giving up 175 rushing yards per game during their 4-game skid. New England knocks off Minnesota by a final score of 24-20. 24-10. Running back James White continues to contribute in a big way. 7 receptions, 92 yards for the Patriots. Josh Gordon, decent day. Only had 3 grabs, but he scored 1 touchdown. And as far as the Vikings are concerned, guys, they're now 0-5 straight up this year, when allowing at least 100 yards on the ground. And the Patriots ran for $160 on the ground after tearing it up I think they had 215 last week on about 6 yards per carry. Excuse me, I got a cough drop here as the throat is a little bit sore tonight. But bottom line is that the Pats come into this able to run the football, did so again against one of the league's best run defenses, and the Patriots on a 13-game home win streak, 48-6 in the last 54 home games. They clinched their 18th straight winning season. If they can run the football like they had the last 2 weeks, going to be extremely difficult to stop. Chiefs win in Oakland 40-33. The Raiders get the money. Spencer Ware, of course, now having to pick it up for the departed Kareem Hunt, who was shown the door after his off-field problems last week. Spencer Ware, 14 carries, 47 yards, and a touchdown. The running backs for KC, Ware and Damian Williams, they were only targeted 3 times in the passing game. They were targeted, I think, 5 times, but they caught 3 passes in that game for just 12 yards. 3 combined receptions, 12 yards from 2 running backs. Sharkandrick West was re-signed on Monday by Kansas City, and we also heard that C.J. Anderson is going to visit the Chiefs. If he's healthy enough, they'll try to sign him, but definitely will need to do something to make up for all of what Kareem Hunt brought to this football team. Travis Kelce, keep saying it, best tight end in football. He had 12 receptions, 168 yards, 2 touchdowns. Chargers knock off Pittsburgh 33-30 for the 2nd straight week. Pittsburgh blows what should have been a win. They were outscored 26-7 in the second half on Sunday night. They were outscored 23-0 in roughly a 6-minute span from late in the 3rd quarter. Early into the 4th quarter, they gave up that 73-yard punt return for a touchdown. Listen, the officials missed a horrible illegal procedure on the Chargers in their first touchdown, which really changed the momentum of the game. When an official does that, he ought to be suspended for the season at the very least if it's his first transgression, and be fired if he's done it a couple of times. Keenan Allen was targeted 19 times by Phillip Rivers. He had 14 receptions, 148 yards, and a touchdown. But the Steelers, for the 2nd straight week, man, they were sloppy in coverage. They got to turn that around. Tough loss, especially when they were up 23-7 in that game. And then, of course, on Monday night, the Skins and the Eagles. Eagles win 28-13. It wasn't as easy as it sounded. We did have the Eagles as the free pick here, and they did get the cover. They did outscore Washington 14-0 in the 4th quarter. Josh Adams, 85 yards on 20 carries, picking him up and putting him down well for the Eagles of late. We saw Carson Wentz, by the way, carrying this forward. He finally was scrambling to give his receivers extra time to get open. We saw him moving in the pocket like he hasn't done since his return this season. So maybe Wentz is finally getting that confidence back and getting completely healthy, like the way he looked in that game when he had to extend plays. As far as the Skins, we already knew their offensive line was banged up, but now they'll be down to their 3rd quarterback, Mark Sanchez, having to come in the game last night when backup Colt McCoy broke his leg, basically. I think it was his fibula from what we saw, and he's going to be out for the rest of the season. So just, man, tough times and maybe a little bit unfair what Washington's had to go through this season between their offensive line injuries and their quarterback injuries also along the way. All right, guys, free pick in just a second. Again, a quick note for Tuesday over at DocSports.com. We've got the 3-play college basketball trifecta, 47, 23, and 2 with these plays in our college basketball 3-play trifectas. That's how we ended last year. First one of the season goes on Tuesday. It's available 11:30 a.m. Eastern, 8:30 a.m. Pacific, DocSports.com. And don't forget about the NBA and the NHL. All right, let's get to our free pick real quickly here since we've had a long video as we do on Monday night, Tuesday mornings. We're going to back Furman minus the points over Elon. And listen, Furman's off to a great start. They almost choked it away over the weekend against Western Carolina. I think that refocuses the troops and gets them back on track. And as far as Elon's concerned, they've just been a mess basically since day one this basketball season. Don't like the way they're playing. Looks like confidence is down. We'll back Furman minus the points to remain undefeated with a win and cover on Tuesday night. All right, that's going to do it for us for Tuesday. We'll be right back here on Wednesday, 4 a.m. Eastern, 1 a.m. Pacific, with our next report and free pick. I'm Scott Spreitzer, DocSports.com. If you like the videos, click on the thumbs up button. Be sure to subscribe. We appreciate those who have done so thus far. Let's put Tuesday in the win column back here Wednesday morning.